Peace, family. It's Divine Understanding. Just want to look over a couple of these books, give you a little history of some of this. That's Theology of Time. I ordered that out of FOI magazine. And this one here is dealing with sovereignty, like stuff like Social Security number, IRS, getting rid of the IRS, getting rid of Health and Human Resource Services, getting rid of child support and shit like that. It deals with, like ways to combat the system dealing with the 1933 W.D. Farad versus J. Edgar Hoover and the New Deal, FDR, right? And you got our brethren, Malcolm, Naomi. She deals with the same thing. She's saying that the system itself is turning into a police state, basically. Very good book right here, Before the Mayflower, showing and proving Asiatics were in the wilderness of North America before the Mayflower. But the European didn't bring us all over here. A lot of us were already here when he got here, and he attacked us and enslaved us who were already here. Machiavelli, this one reminds me of Tupac, even though, that particular Machiavelli is not Tupac, but I'm just saying, when you think of Machiavelli, you think of Tupac. But that's a good book, Read the Prince. It's trying to explain to the ruling class how to rule with justice, right? That's Forbidden History. Nature Knows No Color Line by J.A. Rogers. Right, that's a good book. That's another good one right there. Ivan Van Sertima. That's another one, showing and proving, just like, what did we just saw? We just saw one. Oh, there it is, Before the Mayflower. So those two books kind of go together. Africa's Presence in Ancient America. They came before Columbus. That's the first version of The Culture of the Universe is I, God. Right? That was the first version. That's the first cover. Now it looks like... See if I can find one here for you. Oh, here it is. It looks like this now. Let me see if I can push that up for you now. It looks like that now, right? The Culture is I, God by Divine Understanding, Born of Law. That's the new cover. Here's the back of it. Same book. You can get this on lulu.com. And you can either download it. I think the download is like maybe 60 cents. And the printed book itself, right? If you want the printed book, it's $6. Right? 122 pages, $6. That's book one. Book two is soon to come. And for my brethren that can't afford it, you can go to the website, Ancient Order of Free Asiatics, and it's up on the website. You can cut and paste it, or you can email me on YouTube, Prince Namor, or email me in Yahoo, Prince Namor, or email me in MSN, Prince Namor, and I will go in and reconfigure the download and make it free for you, so in case you just can't afford it and you really want to get the book, because I'm not going to deny my younger brothers and sisters the book. So I'm just going to quickly run over these one more time so you can get a good look at what's here. And then I'm going to get into the lecture. And we're going to build on a few things. But I did want you to see some of these books. There's the Egyptian Book of the Dead. Child custody book. That's a good book if you're dealing with child support and you're trying to get your baby back. Sacred Tarot, Ancient Masonry, Al-Quran. This is a real good book here. It's real thick. There's 2 parts to it. See book 1. And I'll do is look at these here. These are very good too. That's a real good book right there. I suggest reading that. This is real good too. Peace. I just want to go over a few things. In the year 10,920 in the Asiatic calendar, the birth of a half-original man named Musa came into existence. Musa means the great civilizer. The reason they called him half-original is because he only had half the knowledge of the original man. I'm going to read some of this plus degree on it. It says, when this half-original man was born, the pigmentation of his skin was like that of an albino, and because of his complexion, and because of the complexion of his skin, he enabled him to work, and later on civilized the devil, which Yaqub had grafted. The beastful life he had grafted and ran him into the caves of West Asia, as they now call it Europe, or General Monk ran him into the caves of West Asia, as they now call it Europe. It says that the first 40 years of Musa's life was spent in the wilderness without having any knowledge of what he was to do later on in life. When he turned 40 years old, he went among the original people to study the original man's way of life. In the year 11,000, which was the end of Musa's second 40 years, he had spent his second period of life, which was from 40 to 80, among the original people, and was awakened to the work that he was supposed to fulfill. Then it goes on to say he went into the caves so he could clean up the European, so that they could live a respectable life. He was considered half original man because he only had half the knowledge of the original man, right? So I'm just letting you see how them old plus degrees used to look. And Yaqub had taught them that they lived a trick knowledge. Yaqub had taught them trick knowledge and how to master the original man. Gave them 6,000 years to rule. Right? So Musa began the plan of grafting. What happened was, let me just give it to you right quick. What happened was, when Musa got up there into the caves, he noticed that he couldn't really get to the Europeans to educate them and enlighten them on things that he needed to enlighten them on, because it was so full of filth and shit like that. Then it goes on into the jackal. They used the jackal to guard the front of their caves, and also when the men would be out hunting, they might have to go away for a long time to hunt because they had wiped out all the animals in the immediate area, so they had to go out further because the animals was getting away from them. You know how they do. They like to make things extinct. So anyway, long story short, what happened was the caveman would be gone for a long time, and so in that way, his woman might get, sexually stimulated and not have anybody there to stimulate her. So she would allow the jackal to lick her power you, and that way she could get a sensation from that. And then when the European would come back, he saw his dog or his jackal licking her private parts, and so he started emulating the jackal, and he started doing that too to turn her on. But anyway, what happened was when Musa was trying to clean up the caves, he sent dogs in, and they weren't able to clean it up. And then he sent cats in, they weren't able to clean it up. Then he sent mice or rats and shit like that, and they weren't able to clean it up. So then he, it goes on to say that Musa began the plan of grafting the genes of the cats and the rats and the dog, and he separated them and he spliced them and he put them together and he came up with a pig, or something similar to a pig, a hog, or whatever the case may be, because that's why they say rat, cat, and dog is a pig. And then he used that animal to clean up the caves of West Asia, as they now call it Europe, so he could get in there and teach them. Then he had to do something else. He had to lure. He lured all the elders of those tribes. He lured them over to the end of the cliffs, and he set them up to go over there so he could blow them up. He killed them all, blew them up off the side of the mountain, so that part of the mountain fell on top of them. And he did that so that he could get to the young ones, so he could re-educate the young ones and teach them what he wanted them to learn. And that's just a little history on Yaqub. So I figured I'd give y'all a little of that and let you get a good look at this plus degree when I came. That's how I got it. You can see 20 years of him living in the caves, right? In the year 10,920. That way, I'm gonna run over it right quick like that. So that way, if you take your channel and you see, I'm making it so you can read it. If you take your channel and you pause it, you'll be able to read most of this yourself, and then you can make copies. You can make copies and shit like that. Here is the last page, and this is the history on Musa as taught from the 5% Nation. Let you get a little look at that. It seems like it's pretty good reading, because look, I read that Musa was a prophet and a great civilizer, because see, some of it's taught right there. The devil came out. I just want you to see that. Let's look at knowledge. King, non cipher, wisdom, Lord, equality, divine, God, equality. That's knowledge. Knowledge is to know, listen, and observe. Knowledge as a body of accumulated facts. Knowledge is the foundation for all things in existence, as the sun is the foundation for our solar system, and man is the foundation for his family. And knowledge itself born equality. Right? Born equality in 120 lessons. Tell us the exact number of years, months, and days the devil being birthed on our planet. 6,020 years, 72,241 months, 2,197,351 days of the date of this writing. Go to Build, Destroy, and Understanding, which is like saying wisdom, because wisdom, myself, divine cipher master, borns, Build, Destroy, and Understanding. Wisdom is a manifestation of one's knowledge of ways and action when used to make his or her knowledge to know truth, such as speaking wisely to the wise or to the dumb, or to possess a wise mind. Wisdom is the one. Go to the Build, Destroy, and Understanding degree in 120 lessons. Now that's also the wisdom understanding degree. So the Build, Destroy, Understanding is the wisdom understanding. So Build, Destroy, and Understanding in 120 lessons is also like wisdom and understanding in 1 to 40. So you could get to wisdom understanding by going to the end. Like if you went to Love, Hell, Right, or Lord N, or Now Nation N. In the end, you could go to wisdom, understanding, and get into the 1 to 40. So it would be like wisdom, myself, divine, cipher, master. That's Build, Destroy, and Understanding. Tell us what did he promise his nation he would do. That he would make a devil, grab them from his own people, and teach them trick knowledge how to rule people for 6,000 years. Universe now, divine equality rule, says the truth. Allah now divine, I now God, shows and proves knowledge, power, cipher. So there's no knowledge, power, cipher in 120 lessons. So you have to go down to knowledge and the power. So if you knowledge and the power, you could go to cipher. Cipher is a person, place of being, a circle that consists of 360 degrees or a cycle of light. See, I power, her power, I see. Right? Now you could also build on knowledge added on to a cipher by going to English C lesson number 1, are there any Muslims other than righteous? Right? Or you could go to he does not know that he is my uncle. Right? Now in the 1 to 14, you could go to the 6th degree. You could go knowledge and the power brings about equality. So why does the devil teach and keep our people illiterate?